who's on here. Buenos dias. Enrica, Mars, Raul, Maddie, hi. How's everyone today? I almost didn't go live today. It was a close call. It was like last night I was like, I don't know if I have it in me. And this morning I kept going back and forth. But I'm here. Yee! Yeah, can I be totally honest with you guys? Why I almost didn't go on? Like, I just like, I wasn't, oh, it's so stupid. I honestly wasn't sure if I was looking up to it. Like, not feeling up to it, looking up to it. I didn't know if I could put this face on the internet, but here it is. Honestly, that is probably the number one thing that holds me back at any given moment in time. And I don't know, maybe I shouldn't say that out loud. And maybe that's not even like the root thing. But there it is. But anyway, now I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm here. I did my thing. So yeah, how are you guys? Did I miss the intro? I think I did. My face. It's weird. I've been watching a lot of plastic surgery videos, like analyzing what people are getting done and things like that, as a means to like talk. What do I mean by this? Just to like have perspective of like what the hell is going on in terms of the world of appearances, and kind of like confirm the fact that it's not something I ever want to do. Face in how you look, or face as in being able to prevent the version of yourself that you want to show? I mean, both. That's what I mean, where it's like, it's very superficial. And like, I'm aware of it. Like last night I was kind of running through it and I'm like, okay, I know this is the reason that you're trying to get out of this thing right now. And you don't have to do it. You don't have to go live. You don't have to do this thing. Because you're feeling a bit insecure. And like trying very hard to not push myself to do something that I'm not comfortable doing. Meaning like, if you just don't feel good about your appearance, you don't have to like suck it up. Like, I'm trying very hard to not do any harm to myself and any harm to others, like that might come from me being harmful to myself. But I was very aware that it's like, oh, here's the thing that like tends to be the argument in my head for why to not show up in some way. And that's been there for like, it's just been there for a long time. And it gets easier. Like, I would say, ideally you get to a place where like your looks are like an afterthought. You're like, oh, what do I look like? Like, not in a, it's just like, it's just kind of in your pocket. And you don't really think about it. And you don't really worry about it, but you also don't try to like, I think with anything, there's like polar opposites that can present themselves, meaning like some people need to mask really hard and like need to look really, really good in order to feel good about themselves. But so it's this like this thing outside of them, right? That, okay, I'm safe. I have this thing. I have this mask that I get to put on, and like it's literally their like face. I have this thing, and no matter what, it means that I walk through the world and I'm like, and I'm safe. And then like on the inverse side of that, like, you know, they might be like, I don't have this thing, so I can't feel safe, and da da da. And they're just like constantly obsessed with their looks and like feeling bad about themselves. And ideally, like you want to hit this sweet spot where like you look the way you look and you enjoy it, or you don't, like, and it's just not a defining factor of like what you do, how you show up. It's not the thing. You don't need it. You don't need it. It's just there. I mean, I guess that goes for everything. Like for some people, it's like how they look. For other people, it's how much money is in their bank account. This isn't like against having those things. It's just like to be aware of your like attachments or like your need, like your desperation. To me, it feels kind of like desperate energy. Like if I don't have this, I'm not okay. If I don't have this, I'm not okay. And that's just, you're not gonna make good decisions from that place. And you're always gonna be scared. You are always, always, always gonna be scared that it's gonna be taken away, or that it's not gonna be enough, or that someone else is gonna take it away from you, or I don't know, it's gonna let you down, or someone's gonna see through it. Like you're just in scared energy because that's where it's coming from. You hit your facial scars. Yeah, so this isn't like against surgery, by the way. It's just like, I really think the best place to always come from is like this place of freedom and detachment. Not in a like bad detached, like apathetic. Detachment isn't apathy. It's just like knowing that you're okay no matter what. And then from that place, you're actually able to make choices. Like if you're reacting from being scared or feeling like you're in a corner in some way, you're reactive. And so you're like, you know, the doctor like hits your knee with the little hammer and then the leg goes up and you don't have control over that. Like it's literally testing your responses. So if you're doing something from that place of like reactivity, you're not actually making choices. Because you're not in that energy. So I almost feel like, yeah, before you do anything, before you make a choice that could be like facial surgery or something, get to a place where you're like, I don't need to do it. And then make the choice. How have I been this week? Hi, Adam. Welcome. Hi. How have I been this week? It's been really good. It's been a really good week. I've been messing around with like, how do I put this? I've been like really trying to be present this week. Not from a like, you don't need to be present, Janessa, but in a like, I guess what strikes me lately is, and this might sound kind of silly, like I'm here, I'm alive. I wake up and I'm like, I'm awake, I'm alive, I'm here. I get to have this, like the present moment is this like, it's this thing that's just there, whether I choose to like lean into it or not, it's just there for me at any given point in time. And that's always just like, there's just life happening if you're willing to actually tune into it and look at it and be with it. And it's like really rich and really full. And if you just get kind of curious about like wanting to settle into that, for the pure feeling of like, it's sweet. It's a sweet, sweet feeling that life is really sweet if you actually let yourself taste it, you know? So I've been trying to do that and trying to catch myself when I'm not doing that, and the reasons why I'm not doing that. And what I'm coming up with is like, I'm not doing that because I didn't even realize I had this. I feel like so much pressure to be doing things all the time, to be like making things happen and fixing and changing things and being productive and working towards things and using my time like efficiently. I had no idea I was this like I was so westernized. And so this week, like a lot of the time, I'm just like, okay, you know what? I don't have to. I don't have to do anything right now. And just settling into like how that feels, and trying to like seek out as much like relief and freedom, and like how much I get to do things. I don't have to, I get to do things. And the second that I'm like, we don't have to do that. We don't have to do that today. And I kind of like lean into it and I'm like, I don't have to. Then I find myself stepping into it from a different place. Yeah. So that's what I'm doing lately. And I'm hoping, you know, it becomes more natural. But most of the time I find myself trying to do the exact opposite. Kill time. Yeah, I mean, I just get curious about why. Why are you trying to kill time? Like, that to me says like you don't want to be here right now. And there's a million heres. You know what I mean? Like there's a million different present moments that we can have based on our perception. So I guess I get curious about, sorry, Oxy, I can't like say that file name. Oxy, I get curious about like, yeah, just what you're trying to get out of. What you're trying, like you're trying to kill time, but in a way you're like trying to kill whatever it is going on right now. Like, no, I want to skip ahead. So what is it you actually think is going on right now? And is that really true? Is that really true? Are there any other interpretations about what's going on right now that you can find? Is there anything else that you can focus on about like what's going on right now that actually feels good and exciting and enjoyable that you could lean into? Is there anything going on right now that you would want actually like to save time, like to freeze time and just have that for like a few seconds longer? Like, would you want to eke out anything about right now? Is there anything? And it can be like stupid, superficial stuff. It could just be like, I really, really like this donut and I just want this donut to last forever, or like whatever it is, whatever genuinely makes you happy. Real friends. 2 lives a week would be swell. Okay, I could be open to that. I feel like an evening live might be a nice thing, like in the weekday. Yeah. Kydris. Oh, thank you. My energy. I don't know why I thought that. Okay. EG vlog. Thank you. Real friends. Yeah. Am I single? I don't know. What's my energy? Do I have single energy? Pushing and encouraging yourself can be one of the hardest things. Been having a rough week. What's been going on? I will get to the topic, but what's been going on? I mean, I can just like pump you up. I don't know you, but hey, you're here. And if you're here, you're in my tribe, you're my people. So I assume you're amazing and you're beautiful and you're gorgeous and you've got good energy and you're kind and sweet, and I can just pump you up if that's what you need, whatever you want. Can you? Yes, you can apply. You can fill in an application and you can send it to me, and I definitely need that. Like, I need protection in multiple realms, like the physical and the, you know, like the demonic realms as well. Okay, I'm getting weird. Hi, Zane. Hi, Hector. Oh, was estás? I don't know the second sentence. I'm looking cute. Thank you. Okay. Maple. Hi. Hi. Okay. What's it? Yeah, Kydra, I said I'm sorry if I'm not saying your name correctly, but yeah, if you stay on this live and there's anything I can do for you, let me know, okay? And I get like, it's a live chat, so if you don't want to share, it's fine too. Okay, so I'm gonna get to the topic of like real friends. And this might be interesting, and I'll just be kind of thinking out loud with this. Thank you for the rose. I'll be thinking out loud about this. I want to preface this by saying, in my experience, there's two types of people. Okay. There's like the people who put blame outside themselves. Okay, blame, I don't know if that's the right word I want. They just like think that the outside is responsible. Maybe responsibility is better, right? They think the responsibility lies outside of themselves. They look outside. Those are the reasons why. And then there's other people, and they always take the blame or the responsibility inward, and they say, no, it's because of me. It's because of me. Okay. So the topic of like, are those your real friends? I feel like those two kinds of people are going to take this conversation in a very different direction. Okay? Because the people that always put it outside, they're like, that person wasn't right to me. This is my impression of those people. That person like did this and this and this and this, and I'm just gonna cut them off, and I can never trust them again, and I can never like forgive them. I would say those people need to look inward, obviously, but those people who always take it on themselves and always assume that they're the reason why something didn't work out, or why like a friendship isn't good, why like someone's angry at them, why someone's not showing up for them, like why someone's being a bad friend in the first place, they're gonna assume it's about something about them. And so for those people, like setting up boundaries and actually putting responsibility on something outside of them will be more freeing, will be like take it off yourself. Like you'll get more energy, you'll get more power, because you're so sunken down on yourself and taking everything on, that if you can like lessen the burden and just like, no, you know what, maybe that wasn't proper treatment, you will get more freedom and power and energy doing that, even though it doesn't sound like spiritual or whatever to do so. So figure out what kind you are and kind of situate yourself. The reason I'm saying this is because I'm like number 2. I have historically been number 2, like to a big degree, where I'm like, it's me. And while that's like true, it can be really, really problematic and keep you stuck for a really, really long time because it's coming from this place of like, I screw everything up. I'm the reason. I'm the reason. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm bad. And you need to like need to stop that pattern somehow. You need to like just expand to the point where you can see more, like you can see more. If you even like allow yourself to feel angry, feel hurt, feel betrayed, that's actually like a higher energy than feeling shame or like disappointment. If you can get angry and see the situation from the perspective of anger, if you're coming from like sadness, you know, you'll start to see things that you didn't consider before from the other state. And you'll start to see like that you deserve more. That you like, oh, that person actually, yeah, they did that. And you'll start to just see more. More will come to you. And from that place, like you can start to be like, so why was I accepting that? Why wasn't I like, why didn't I expect more? Why was I so willing to take so little? And then as you kind of like raise your own self-esteem, you know, better people will come into your life. Okay, that was like a very long preface, but real friends. Okay, thinking about this, I think friendship is like a really, really interesting topic. And so much emphasis gets put on relationships, like romantic relationships, or maybe even just like work relationships because that's important. And there's like a marketplace for it. But not a lot gets said about friendships. And I feel like friends are actually going to the wayside. Like they're getting forgotten. Friendship is getting forgotten a little bit. And I could speculate why, but I want to talk about it. So, I mean, the best marriages or like committed relationships, I think everyone would agree this is true, are deep friendships. And I think the same is true, like the inverse is true of friendships, is that like great friendships are like a marriage. The only thing is like we don't stand in front of like a bunch of people and say like, I commit to being your friend. We're never asked to do that. And for the most part, I think we have this expectation that friends kind of just happen. They kind of like fall into our lives and we're like, that's a friend. Cool, I got a friend. And we're very like kind of like unspecific about it. Very like vague about what being a friend even means. And when it comes to like romantic partners or like working relationships, we wouldn't be that vague about it. We just wouldn't, because we see it as too important. We see it as too impactful on the quality of our lives or like the quality of our work or careers. Like if you're choosing to marry someone, you're going to vet that person and you have an idea of like, okay, who's the person that I want to spend the rest of my life with? Like, what do I need from that kind of partner? And there's a responsibility also for like, how do I show up for that person? Is this the right person for me? Like there's just all these questions and considerations, and also just kind of like these questions surrounding what relationship do I even want to have? Like what is that for me? Because there's no such thing as like, this is what a marriage looks like. This is what a relationship should be. Like you have to define that for yourself. What's important to you? What's important to you in another person? Like what do you actually need? What do you actually want? What would it be like for you to feel completely fulfilled in a romantic relationship? You're going to ask yourself those questions, or I hope you ask yourself those questions. And like there's certain things that you want to know about the person. Like you want to know whether your definition fits theirs, whether like what they want to like build with you is the same thing that you want to build with them. You want to get like clear on that. But with friends, we don't do that. I mean, I haven't done that. I haven't done that. I don't think I thought I had the right to do that. I don't think I ever asked myself the question, like, what kind of friends do I actually want? Like, what people do I actually want in my life? Not romantically, just like what people, and they will have an incredible impact on you. They will. So we have the right to ask these questions. But I think, yeah, I would start there. Like, get clear on what are the friends that you want in your life? Why? And I'll get to that in a moment. And what is friendship to you? Because different people have different definitions of what a friend is. Like, some people, it's very casual, actually. It's like a friend is someone you have fun with. A friend is someone you go to the bar with. A friend is someone you gossip with. A friend is someone, like, I don't know, you meet up every 6 months and have lunch. Like, a friend can be, and like, none of that's wrong. None of that's right and none of that's wrong. A friend can also be like your ride or die. Like, a friend can be like, they are always there for you. A friend could be someone who like tells you the truth no matter what. A friend is someone who's loyal no matter what. A friend is someone, like, it's very personal, and it's really good to ask those questions, because sometimes we feel like, oh, my friend let me down. That person isn't a real friend to me, but they might just have a different definition of what a friend is. And that's where it gets hairy. So ask yourself those questions and be real about it. And when I say be real about it, like, what kind of friends do I want? I hope you have like enough self-awareness that if your answers are a little superficial, you're willing to explore why. And you're willing to ask yourself whether you're actually a good friend, whether you're actually someone that someone would want as a friend. And again, this is the same stuff they go over with romantic relationships, but we should bring it to all relationships, okay? The reason I say this is like, okay, if you're like, I want really cool friends, I want them to be good looking, and I want them to be funny and successful and I don't know, impressive. And I like, if you need them to fit this kind of persona, and there's nothing wrong with that, but it's good to know the reasons why. Because if you're hoping that your friends will kind of like up level you by proxy, I don't think it's gonna work out very well, because it's coming from insecurity. It's coming from like, I'm not enough. And any person with romantic relationships would tell you this. It's like, it's coming from, I'm not enough, so I'm really hoping that my friends offer me a buffer. I'm really hoping like they're the ones to like drag me up because I'm not there. Ideally, yes, your friends do push you. Your friends do help you grow. Your friends do like inspire you and lift you up. Like, and that they are really amazing people that enhance your lives. Yes, absolutely. But if you go into it needing them to be more than you, so that you're more with them because of them, you're always going to be scared. You're always going to be scared they're going to go away. You just are. And you're always going to feel like a bit uneasy, like, I'm not enough, because you want them, because you think you're not enough. It's just, that's going to be there. You're going to be like, why are these people friends with me? And you're going to be trying to keep up. And it's going to be exhausting. Ultimately, friends, like, when you're with your friends, it should feel simple. It should feel peaceful. It should feel free. It should, like, focus more on how you want it to feel. How you want it to feel and be, like, who you want to be. How you want to, like, fill up space being in relationship with those people than like how those people make you appear or what they do for you. You know what I mean? And it can go the opposite way too. Meaning like if you're aware that you kind of like have to be the alpha or something like that, why do you need that? Oh, like do you need friends that you see as kind of like lower than you so you can feel superior? Because that's never going to be satisfying either. And if that's there, okay, all of that like taken into consideration, okay, now I'm going to like flip it on the other people. And like we feel this, we know this. Are your friends like, do you need to be something for them? Do you need to do things for them? Are you like patching up the boat in any way? And if you don't patch up the boat, if you're not like, if you're not super successful, if you're not like super hot, if you're not super funny, if you're not like doing something for them, is that like, just ask yourself if like that feels scary at all, and if you feel like your friends will be okay with that. Do you feel like you're performing a little bit for them all the time? I think like a really good just like measurement bar that doesn't get talked about, I don't know why, but like this is something that I've really like latched onto recently, is just like the feeling of freedom. The feeling of freedom. I feel like this is like the most simple, effective way to just like measure like where you are at any in any like aspect of your life, is like how free do you feel? And ultimately that's the goal, is I want to feel as free as possible. So with your friends, like how free are you? Are you free to fail? Are you free to be like stupid? Are you free to be ugly? Are you free to like mess up? Are you free to be really friggin' successful? Because sometimes that's an aspect too, where like you feel, and this can be like sneaky, but you feel like, no, actually, if I change, if I like get my shit together, if I blow up, if I become something else, if I go after what I want, they're not going to be okay with that. The only reason they wouldn't be okay with that is because there's something insecure in them that's like, that person, like, I can't be with that person now because they make me feel bad about myself. So if you have any of those feelings that like, I'm just not free in this relationship, I don't know, are they really friends worth keeping? Or is there something else to work on in the relationship? And is that true, or is that just something you're putting on them? Like, always be aware of that. Like, is this actually true of the people, or is it just something I'm putting on them? And you can experiment with that. Like, you could test the waters. You can find out, you know? And I would say, like, find out first with, like, hone into that feeling of freedom and bring that out with those people and see how they react, see how they respond. And they might not be okay, and that's all right. If they're using you in any way, they're using you. They're using you, and you're not, that's not the point of this. Like, what the hell is the point of friendship if you're just being used to fulfill something for them? Ultimately, like, we should just be able to, like, hang out with one another and not, it should just feel, like, calm and still and easy. It should feel easy, easy, easy. That's what we want. We want it to feel easy. If we're constantly chasing and clutching and latching, it doesn't feel good. I don't care what you think you're getting from those people. Ultimately, what you are getting is stress. So I would say, like, have friends that are secure. That, I think, is like the number one thing you could want. You would want this from a romantic partner, so want this from your friends. Want this like for your friends. that they're secure, that they're just secure in who they are. And from that place, they can show up and you can show up. And it's just, it's simple and it's quiet and it's nice and it's easy. And you know if this is true or not. You know. Like, listen to your instincts. Listen to how you're actually feeling around other people. Pay attention. Actually be honest with yourself about how you feel around another human being. And get curious as to why you feel that way. Like, what actually is going on? What's going on? Another thing that I think happens in all kinds of relationships is like history. Meaning we tend to like form attachments based on the amount of investment we've put in. Like for you guys who know, like, what's it called? Sunk loss. Sunk loss, meaning like the amount you've put in, the more you've put into something, sunk loss fallacy, the more you've put into something, the less you want to abandon ship. Because you're like, I've put this much in. But logically, if it's not going anywhere and you just keep putting in, you're just going to keep losing more. So you might as well like leave now with whatever loss you've actually accumulated, then keep going. And I think this happens a lot with relationships, and it's where like, again, get clear on what a friend actually is, and you're allowed to completely define that, and you're also allowed to completely define what loyalty is. But I think sometimes we just like, we mix up history with friendship. And we're like, I know, like, we've been through so much together, and I know all of their secrets, and they know all of mine. Therefore, like, this person has a permanent place in my life. Sometimes a complete stranger actually will be a better friend to you than someone you've known for 20 years. Because they're just more able to be a good friend for you, regardless of history. Like, history isn't a defining factor of how much that person's able to show up for you. It's just not. Maybe it means you like, oh, I trust them because they've seen all of me. They've seen like the good and the bad. That's not necessarily, I don't know. That doesn't necessarily mean anything. The person themselves and their values and their definitions and how they choose to show up on a day-to-day basis is probably a better indicator of how good a friend they will be than like history. You can have history with like a horrible friend, and they can know all the different sides of you, but it doesn't mean they're actually like that. They actually have the capacity to live up to the kind of friend that you want or need. And loyalty is a funny thing too, because like, it's kind of just a very general, vague term of like, loyalty, like, you're there no matter what. You're just there. But there in what way? I think loyalty can include like the quality of showing up as well. Meaning like, yeah, be loyal, but be like loyal to your word, to your promise, to like the person that you choose to show up as. Be loyal with the other person to be there, to not like change. You know what I mean? Like in a really strong relationship, they're kind of the same person, no matter what's going on with you and no matter what's going on with them. They can be like having a horrible year. They can be going through like all kinds of different things. but they still show up as the same person. There's a constancy to them. And in regards to like you, if they're like floundering and you're doing really well, again, there's a constancy, or vice versa. They don't change that much. They don't like lash out at you or like expect more, or, you know, they don't have multiple faces because they don't need to. They don't need to. They're not trying to like get something from you. They just want you. They just want the friendship that's already there. So, what do I want to say about that? I don't know. Talking about this, it's very interesting for me, reflecting on this. And yeah, it's interesting for me to ask myself, like, am I a good friend? Have I been a good friend? And I think actually, like, maybe I gave myself away a bit at the beginning of this conversation. I could probably give myself more credit. I think my insecurities have definitely gotten in the way in the past. And I just, like, I didn't show up for people. And I didn't allow friendships to really flourish and be there because it felt like work. It felt like energy, and it felt scary. Felt like, felt like I need to be something for this person. I need to be something for this person, and I don't want to show up not being that. That's just going to be uncomfortable and awful. And ultimately, like, I'm not being a good friend from that place. I'm not, like, capable of being a friend because I'm just so caught up in myself. So, yeah, that's all insecurity is. It's just, like, there's such an awareness of me, like, not being enough for whatever's going on out there. And when it's like that, you're just, like, you're so small. You're so small. There's just not a lot you can do from that place. So, unfortunately, I think I have been that friend in the past, and hopefully I'm better able to show up now. But it's like, it's a process. And I also think, like, yeah, it's really interesting to think that, like, oh, I get to choose. I get to decide what a friend even is and what kind of friends I even want. And I don't know, hopefully, like, I think this would be really cool, like, if it was more of a discussion. Like, we have no weirdness around, like, around seeking out romantic relationships. And maybe it can be more normal to seek out friendships. I don't see why not. Like, I just think that's going to have a huge, huge, huge impact on your life. A friend. And also, it might take some pressure off romantic relationships if friends were more integral to the well-being of a human, and like that they were more specific in a way, that it was more like, I don't know, not this like haphazard thing that just like happened to you, but if it was just like, I don't know how to put it. Yeah. More foundational to like what having a good life is, and more something that people can like seek out and like work to improve upon. I think also part of the thing that gets in the way of friendships is like with a marriage or with working relationships, you're working towards a common goal. Like a marriage, this sounds funny, but I always thought that like the most romantic thing about a marriage was the marriage certificate, the signing of the marriage certificate. I'm weird. But the reason I really like this is I was like, oh, it's a business contract. Okay, stay with me. Meaning like, there's this like commitment, like, okay, we're building our lives together. And part of this commitment is like, I'm committed to you having the best life you can have. And you're committed to me having the best life I can have. And we're committed that like, we are better together than apart. That like, the total sum of us is better than like as like as an individual. So we're together on this. We're working together to make like both of our lives, both of our like dreams come true in a way. And we're like promising to show up for that. And I think actually, like, strangely, this is exactly what happens in a working relationship too, which is like, okay, we have this like common vision, we have this common goal, we're gonna work together, we're gonna like figure out how to like relate to one another to have this thing come to fruition. And with friendships, like, we don't really have this. And this is why you see like friendships kind of falling off as people, you know, put more emphasis on the family. Like if they like get married and have kids and then they have their careers and then they have all these different priorities, and friends kind of fall away because there isn't this agreed upon commitment of like what the relationship is actually about, and that it's important. Like, I don't think that's emphasized in society at all. I don't think like there's a place for that to be like, no, we're building something together. Like these two people or like this group of people, they're all coming together to really like benefit one another. And maybe that's like too systematic and we just want to think of it like, oh, whatever, I just want to have a good time. And again, that's fine too. But I just really like the idea that there's a commitment in a friendship, that it's like, you know what, because of me, your life, like, your life will be better because I am in it, and my life will be better because you are in it. And this is like and like we're in this together, and we're gonna like continue to grow and evolve, and like we can trust one another to keep showing up as that all happens. I think we should be able to say that in any relationship. And if that's not the kind of friendship they want, that's fine too. That's fine too. There's nothing wrong with casual friends. Just like there's nothing wrong with casual relationships. But know what it is you want and what it is you expect out of that person. Okay. I think that's all I have to say about that. There's something so like, I don't think I could go up to someone and be like, I want to be your friend. Actually, I could. Could I follow through? I want to be your friend. Let's be friends. I actually did that with someone recently. I was like, I did that with someone like I see around my neighborhood, and I was like, whenever I see you, I think like, oh, there's my friend. But it's funny because we're not friends yet. And then, and then I think she was like very taken aback, and she was like, I want to be your friend. And then I kind of dropped the ball. Oh, why'd I do that? Because I'm an avoidant attachment style. Why'd I do that? I'm gonna get better at being friends. Let's all like just make a commitment to be better friends, to seek out better friends, have better friendship relationships, and be better friends. I'm weird. Wait. Okay. Friends. Oh, what about friend zone? Friend zone. I'd say a friend zone only happens because two people see it as beneficial. I just think like both people know, you know, like you can just pick up on the energy of someone else. You know what they want. You know if there's like a little bit of romance there. So like if you're friend zoned, okay, chances are the woman like knows that's kind of on the table. But I'm assuming this is like, it could be, you can swap the genders, or it can be, you know, any combination of gender. But I would say, yeah, two people are like agreeing to it. You're both agreeing to it. And the reason being that like you don't want to have conversation around what you both actually want, and you're kind of glad you're not having the conversation because you want to stay in each other's lives. So if you don't want to be friend zoned, tell them what you want. Like, if you don't want to be friend zoned, be willing to give up that friend by telling them what you actually want. And then if they come around, they come around. But it's a choice. You're entering into a choice. Otherwise, you're just like, you're hanging around hoping it changes. And I'm not like, hey, that could happen, but you're letting them see you as a friend because it means you get to continue being in their lives. But you're not in their life like the way you want to be. So, I don't know. You're doing it to yourself, is what I'm saying. Can you actually have the conversation? And the people? What? That's my door handle, or where it once was. Hi, Jasmine. Men have invented the word friend zone. Yeah. Yeah, there's something like, I don't know, resentful about it. I get it. I think it's a bit of a limbo space. And it always feels kind of awkward and tense, and you both feel it. You both know it. You know it. Just no one's having the guts to say it, to bring it up. Because you're just afraid of what you could lose. Hi, Manny. Thanks. Your wife friend zoned you. Are you still together? I mean, again, I think it's like be clear about your relationships, meaning like if you don't want to be like their friend, you want to be their partner or like whatever it is, be clear about that and like show up as that for them. Don't let someone friend zone you either. You know what I mean? Like there's something like they make it platonic. Like let's make it all like they kind of soften the edges. And they don't want you to like change the like, you know what I mean? You have to go along with it. It can't be done to you, not fully. You have to go along. And you would only go along if you're afraid to lose them.
Janessa,
Yeah.
has people been fed?
No. Peepa's the dog. What are you talking about? Okay. Jars are great because I need to drink a lot of water. And, you know, they're bigger. You're just, oh, you're friendly. Okay. Do you want something different or are you okay with it? Get a water bottle. The reason I don't want a water bottle is well, whatever, this is too much information. Whatever, it's so stupid. The reason I don't want a water bottle is because I don't like the straw. Okay? That's why. What? You guys are so weird and funny. Okay, does anyone actually have like anything real to say? Hi, trolls. You're looking lovely. What have you been doing with your skin? Because, like, I hardly noticed the green. And take off the cap, woman. But then why not just use a jar? This makes no sense. I have a jar. Why do I have to go out and buy a water bottle? What? Because it's more like universally accepted as a drinking vessel? No. I will use a jar because I have it. And why not? Hi. Skippity. Hi, Andre. Do I take a jar around in public? I have. If I have it lit. Okay, sorry. What? Okay. I don't. Okay. Okay. Oh, yeah. I'm sorry I didn't get back to you, Enrico, about your question. What do I think of rock music? I'm fine with it. I'm actually curious. Yeah, I think you asked me about like metal. Okay, I've never listened to metal. So, but I have a cousin who really likes it. This is like total sidebar. But I heard the results of like a study on the kinds of people who listen to different kinds of music. And what it revealed was like people who listen to hip hop and rap tend to have higher self-esteem. People who listen to pop are kind of like mid. People who listen to indie, indie or metal had lower self-esteem. And if you think about kind of like what people are singing about, okay, that makes sense too. It's weird, but I feel like a certain kind of person is compelled by metal music. I don't fully know this world, but I feel like there's, like, I think they have like really sweet hearts actually, and the only way that they can express that side of them is through metal music. And so I'm fine with it. Like, I'm all for it. I don't listen to it just because, like, I don't listen to it, but I'm fine with it. It's not really my kind of music, but who knows? I think whatever makes you feel like a bit, whatever makes you feel relief. Like, not like whatever makes you feel good, whatever makes you feel relief, you know? I think that's a much better measurement system. For extreme workouts, yeah, that makes total sense. I get that. Classical music. I love classical music. I play classical music. I don't know that. Is that a band? Can I read your comment? What's your comment? Oh my goodness. Is it a real comment? Evanescence. Oh, Evanescence. But like without Amy and her voice, whew, whew. Some metal singers are incredible. Wagner. Yeah, Wagner. It's funny, I don't like him as a person. So I'm like, Evanescence. Amy is just amazing. She's amazing. ASMR. What? Okay, bye-bye. Eddie. Hi. Okay. I'm good. You're all my real friends. Bro. Okay. It's getting weird. Is there anything else? Otherwise, I'm gonna go. Shade, I'm sorry. There's been a lot in the chat. Hello. Hi. Shade, I'm sorry if you feel ignored. I'm here for you. Hi. Hi, hi, hi. 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 Jack. Hi. Welcome. Macy. Hi. Okay. Bye, Mars. I love you. Yeah, I get it. Aw. That's really nice, Enrico. Ooh, Shizzy. Russia. Gorgeous. Okay, I often find it really hard to keep being motivated. I would say then you're like, how do I put that? Being motivated. If the things that like you actually want to do, you shouldn't need motivation for. You know what I mean? So like if you're running out of motivation, it's probably something you feel like you have to do. Like you should be doing this. And I know this sounds kind of like contradictory, but if you can drop the need to do it, like, you know what, I don't need to get this done. Like, forget this. Then suddenly you have a choice. You don't have to do it. I can do it. And then then hopefully it becomes, this is what you want it to become. I get to do it. I get to do it. I don't want to work out. Don't work out. But chances are when you do that, when you're like, okay, don't work out, you're going to be like, oh, but working out. And then from that place, you're not like working out of guilt or shame or pressure. You're just working out. And that should start to feel good. And you should start to feel proud of yourself and happy and lit up when you do it. And that feel good feeling, like that in and of itself is motivating because people always want to feel good. So find a way for it to, like, for the act, whatever it is you're trying to get done, for that to feel good on its own. Not because it has some external merit that someone else has given it. Does that make sense? I work out, yes. Okay, I'm gonna go. Thank you, Flyby. Thank you. Oh, thanks, Immune Cookie. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go work out, actually. So I love you guys so, so, so much. Go off and conquer. Have a beautiful week. And I'll see you guys next week. If you do want me to go live more often, shoot me a comment or like shoot me something with any suggestions you have for that. Whether like a weeknight live stream would be good. Like I would probably put it midweek just to space it out a little bit. So probably like Wednesday, Thursday, depending on what's going on in my own life. But yeah, I'm totally open to that. And if there's anything else that you specifically want me to talk about, shoot me a message about that too. Because ultimately, I'm here with the intention of making your lives better. Okay, I love you so much. Bye.